3,000 thinkers were thinking those thoughts. Did you know that in English the TH has two different pronunciations? If your native language doesn't have this sound, you might be pronouncing it S or F, like sink or think, or even D, like the house, the horse. Right, so if they understand you, the job is done. But that's not the way we pronounce it in English, and sometimes it might sound a bit funny. So if you want to know how to pronounce the TH in English, stay tuned and watch along. For the first pronunciation of the TH, we're gonna have a strong one, and for that, we're gonna stick our tongues out. To do this, let's do an exercise. So we put our finger touching our nose and our chin, and then we stick our tongues out to touch our fingers. Like this. And then we let air out. The tongue and the teeth don't touch, they leave a little space for air to come out, and that's where the sound happens, between the teeth and the tongue. Here we have words like think, 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 thought, 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 through, 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 through.
That's thought that things were better in the past. That's thought that things were better in the past.
But all truly inspiring design projects have one thing in common. They began with a dream. One thing in common.
The first thing I'm going to do is look up who I'm buying from.
3,000 thinkers, 3,000 thinkers, 3,000 thinkers, 3,000 thinkers. The tongue should be visible at this point, right? 3,000 thinkers, 3,000 thinkers. Now let's move on to the other pronunciation, which is a bit softer. The second pronunciation is different because you don't want to pronounce every word like this. This is for important words like nouns and verbs. But if you have the word the, for example, the house, the house, the house, you will never say the house, the house, the house, like you would say think, think, think before you do it, think well before you do it, right? So you have think, but you wouldn't say th, you would not say th, right? Okay, so the second pronunciation is more like an z, like a z, 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 z. So if you do z and you touch your throat, zzz, you should feel some vibration in your throat going on. So let's do it. Zzz, zzz. And you should feel here, you should feel vibration. The same thing happens with the th, th. So let's move from zzz to th. Basically what happens, zzz, the tongue is behind the teeth and the tongue comes up a little bit, but it's just a little bit. We don't stick it out, it's just a little bit. So zzz. See, what I just did is the tongue goes a bit up and touches the teeth. It's between the teeth. Zzz. Zzz. That's behind the teeth. Zzz. And it goes up. Zzz. 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 And it stays there. It doesn't come out. And this is what you do for small little words like those, 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 or that, 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 or the, right? So these tiny words that are never the main word of the phrase, you would use the. For example, the house, or that house, that house, that house, that house. You see, it's very, very tiny.
And the bolder the dream, the greater the design feat that will be required to achieve it.
He was able to help that director reconceive the character in a subtle but important way that really improved the story.
If you want to have more tools in your English toolkit, go check out this video I created on the ED pronunciation of the past verbs in English. So in that video you will get everything you need to know, from verbs that you know that you might be pronouncing incorrectly to verbs that you don't know and how to pronounce them, even if you have never seen them before. So go check it out, and that was it on my side. Bye, Uriel.